What's up, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's Nerdy Nick, and I'm back with a pickups video. So as you guys already know, I was a guest at this year's Game On Expo 2019 in Phoenix, Arizona. While I was there, I got some great deals, got some great pickups, and I'm here to show off everything that I got. And let's just go ahead and get it started. So first, I'll start with the PS1 games that I got. So I picked up Parasite Eve for the PlayStation 1. This is a survival horror type of game, and it's by Squaresoft. I've never played this as a kid. I remember seeing the intro video for it, where the villain sets everybody on fire and whatnot. And anyways, I've heard great things about this game, and I feel as a 90s kid, I'm missing out on not playing this. So I definitely needed to pick it up and play it. I'm a collector of games, whether that be Black Label, Greatest Hits, or whatever, so I don't really care that it's a Greatest Hits edition. I know there's some collectors out there who are very particular, but I don't care, because to me, games are just meant to be played and have fun. Also picked up Blasto for the PS1. This game was considered a giant flop back in the day, but there's just something about this character that I love. I don't know. And he's also voiced by Phil. Oh shoot! Now I feel like a jerk. But he was unfortunately killed in the 90s by his wife. But anyways, I wanted to play this game. It's like Johnny Bravo in space almost. It seems like if Johnny Bravo and Duke Nukem had a child, they would be Blasto. I also picked up another classic, Jersey Devil. This was a game that I had a demo for when I was a kid, and I always wanted to buy the full game. Unfortunately, I could never find it at stores. I'm not sure if it sold well or not, but this is a game that I don't really come by very often. And when I saw it, it was $30. I got it down to $20, and I was grinning all day because I got this game. It's a very spooky type of goofy horror, I don't know, platforming game, beat 'em up game. It's very fun. I can't wait to play it, show it off. I got the classic Driver 2. The Driver series has always been a favorite of mine. It was almost like a step ahead of Grand Theft Auto before Grand Theft Auto took off with Grand Theft Auto 3. And anyways, I just love the missions. You know, you're basically just a wheelman. In this game, you could get out and you actually saw your character, unlike the first game. It's really neat. I also picked up Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. I've never played any of these games, but I've always been very interested in them. And I said, you know what, it's time to jump and take the plunge. Let's get the game. So I got it. And I also got something else that pertains to this game too. And last but not least, for the PS1, I picked up Resident Evil Director's Cut. The difference between this one and the original is the main difference anyway that I've noticed is the analog control, introducing the DualShock and the analog vibration system and all that. So definitely excited to play the original. I mean, you know, I've played all the different iterations of it, but I've never owned this one, so I'm very happy to have it. Next is my sole Dreamcast pickup, and that is the Splatterhouse Trilogy. This is a homebrew hack of Splatterhouse made by Mr. Wizard Productions. I've been eyeing this for like the last 2 years, and last year I missed out on snagging it because I circled around, and this is the thing with conventions and buying. I looked at it and I saw it and I said, oh, okay, well, they've got 2 more copies left. I'm gonna circle around real quick, all the booths, and come back, and I'll get it if it's still here. Lo and behold, Radical Reggie snagged the last copy last year. So I was like, ah, damn it! Oh well. So this year, Mr. Wizard himself gifted this to me, and I was beyond ecstatic and happy. And you can see, guys, he puts a lot of work into everything that he makes. This is the original advertisement for the first Splatterhouse. It's like a comic strip. So this game plays extremely well. You can pick, you can see right here, all the different versions of Rick from the different iterations of the Splatterhouse games. I'm having a blast playing this game. I'm going to do a live stream on it very soon. And speaking of Splatterhouse, here are some PS3 pickups that I got as well. So, I got the Splatterhouse reboot from, I think it's like 2009, 2010. Anyways, you can unlock all 3 original Splatterhouse arcade games and Sega games in here and whatnot. I'm in love with this game, the reboot. I know a lot of people said it was kind of like monotonous and like too repetitive, but I love this game. I also have it for the Xbox 360, but I never get to use my 360 because it's in my kid's room and she uses it for a streaming device. So I have the PS3 version now I can play here in the game room. Next I got the classic Motor Storm for the PS3. This is just, I love crazy racing games like this. I'm a giant fan of these kind of games like ATV Off-Road Fury, the MX Unleashed games, all those kinds of cool, fun racing games. I got the Twisted Metal franchise reboot for the PS3. I never played it because I never had a PS3 growing up in my teenage years and whatnot. When it launched, it was like $600, and I was like, I'm in high school, I can't afford that, and I'm not going to ask my single mom to buy me a PS3 for Christmas, so that was out the window. But I'm such a huge fan of the Twisted Metal franchise. I really wish that they would bring it back. I know that there's a TV show in development, so maybe with that we can actually get a new Twisted Metal game. And speaking of things that are twisted and dark, I picked up Dark Souls 1 and 2. I have never played any of the Souls games, and I know what you're saying is, Nick, they're very hard, they're not going to be a lot of fun, blah 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 blah. I'm up for the challenge. Maybe I'll even do a live stream of these games, and we'll see live reactions of me playing this. I've heard good things about the series and the franchise, so I know it's hard. I know it's hard on purpose. It's hard just to be hard, but I'm excited to play these games. What do you guys think about me jumping into the franchise after many of you have played the games? How do you think I'll like them? Next, I couldn't neglect collecting for my PSP. I got my PSP about a few months ago for free. Someone also gave me the PS3 that I got for free, so that was amazing. It was really great. So, I got Samurai Warriors. Let's see if you can see it there. Samurai Warriors State of War for the PSP. I love the Samurai Warriors games. They're very fun. They're giant beat 'em ups, basically just button mashing, having a great time. Don't really pay attention to the story too much. You just hop in on the battlefield and get ready for the action. And then I also got a sealed dual pack here. It's Siphon Filter Dark Mirror and SOCOM US Navy SEALs Fireteam Bravo. It's sealed. I think that's pretty neat. That really didn't have anything to do with me buying it. I was just like, I really need to get some PSP games, and 2 games basically for the price of 1. You can't beat that, so I got it. I'm a giant fan of Siphon Filter, especially the PS1 games. So, I can't wait to open this up and play them. You know what? I'll actually be using my PSP a lot when I send my Joy-Con in to get the Joy-Con drift fix. So, got to stock up on those PSP games. Now, I've never bought anything from Limited Run before because I always miss the opportunity to buy games from them. It never seems to really quite work out. They launch a game and I miss it because I got paid like the week before, 2 weeks before. Something just never really lines up. But this time, Limited Run had a booth over at Game On Expo, and you might have even seen their booth in my video of the walkthrough at Game On Expo. So they have these blind boxes there. They're $25, and the way it works is any box could have a different priced game inside it. The lowest price being $25, and I think they said the highest price being $100. So it's really just a gamble. And you know what? I was totally down for that. I was like, you know what? I need some excitement. I want to take a gamble. I want to see what I'm gonna get. So I removed the plastic already, so I didn't have to do that live on the video here. But let's go ahead and open up the blind box from Limited Run and see what's inside. Right on. We got I've never seen this before. We got a trading card right here. Let's take that out. It just says limited run on the back. And I'm not sure what game he's from. It's titled 268 on the corner of the card. Let's pop him back in. And then I got Typo Man Revised. So what is Typo Man? I've never heard of this game before. So this is pretty interesting, guys. We got it. This is what we got. It's called Typo Man Revised, and here is the front cover. He looks like he's made out of letters. It says, "Slip into the role as an unusual hero and find the last letter to restore hope in a merciless world." It's a one-player game. Looks like a puzzle platformer. Looks pretty interesting. Maybe I'll stream this later tonight. Huh. Right on. It's rated E10. So I'm assuming, just from the look of the game, there's not a lot of action, but a lot more puzzle platforming. Anyways, that's awesome. Thanks, Limited Run. Let's go ahead and talk about my SNES pickups. So first and foremost, I had a friend of the show give me Final Fight. So I got the SNES edition of Final Fight now, which is really cool. And as you guys saw, I cosplayed as Mike Hagar, on Friday, day one of the con. So this is a really neat gift. Thank you very much, Jesse, for the donation. And my second pickup for my SNES was Turtles in Time. I took the plunge and got this game. They wanted a decent price for it, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it as is, no negotiations needed. I'm very excited to play this game. I love the classic Turtles arcade games and the style. The graphics will hold up no matter what because the color just looks great. The pixelation's almost like spot on perfect. Turtles in Time is a great classic game. And if you haven't played it, I suggest you get a copy yourself. Next, we got some N64 games to talk about. So first I got Mega Man. Mega Man 64, or other known as Mega Man Legends. I rented this game from Blockbuster like back in, I don't know, 2002 maybe, and I fell in love with it. I know it's not anything near like your traditional Mega Man game, but I don't know, I fell in love with it. I love how he doesn't have the helmet on, and he's got that cool spiky hair going on and whatnot. It was just something about the game that I really liked. Next, I got Excite Bike 64. It's just a general pickup. I've always wanted to get it. You know, I've never really played it before, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of one of those games that you need to have in your collection. And every game that I have, I play, and I was like, you know what, I love racing games, I love dirt bike games, so I'm probably going to get some good use out of this game. Last but not least, I picked up Super Mario 64. This is a game I've never owned. Never owned it, not once, not even when I was a kid. And I was like, you know what? It's about time I get myself my own copy of Super Mario 64. And I am very excited to beat this game. I've heard nothing, you know, it's just one of those classic games that everyone needs in their library. And I haven't had it for the longest time. I felt like I was kind of like I had a giant hole in my collection because I didn't have this one game. So I'm very happy to own it. The label's really clean, it looks nice, it looks like it was taken really good care of. So I'm very happy to have this in my collection. And so, guys, I got an Atari 2600 for my birthday this year, and I've never had it. I think I've played it maybe a couple of times before getting it for my birthday. It was just way before my time. You know, I grew up with the NES, SNES, and Sega Genesis, and I never had the opportunity to really have an Atari 2600 or play it. You know, to me, it was always like, that's what my parents had, and you know, and I need the new stuff. But getting older, I have more of a appreciation for what the Atari 2600 did and what it continues to do. So I know there's like a giant homebrew scene for this console and whatnot, but anyways, I was hopping all over the deals. There was this one booth that had Atari 2600 games for 50 cents each, and I was like, you know what? It's about time I get right on that. Also, John Hancock, the immortal John Hancock, was cool enough to gift me like 5 games for the Atari 2600. Him and I were just chatting, and he goes, "So what games do you have?" And I tell him, I've got like 3 games, and he goes, "I'll be right back." And he comes over and just, boom, sits these down on the booth and goes, "Here you go, dude. Enjoy." He goes, "These are titles that you need to have." So, let's see here. I think most of these are the ones that he got me. So we got, and I have another stack right over here. So we got Asteroids. Very nice, clean label. We got Phoenix. Now, he told me this next one was a must-have and very fun. And that's Demon Attack. We also got me some Popeye the Sailor Man. Boop, boop. I got myself Haunted House. Just looked fun, and I don't know. I'll be honest, I've never played like any of these games before the 2600. He also got me E.T. And I'm excited to play it because I know there's a good game somewhere deep down inside. He got me a Tax Scan. I've never played this before. And this is a Sega game for the 2600, so I thought that was really interesting. You can see the Sega right there. Now let's get the other stack of Atari 2600 games. Got Vanguard. One thing I love about the 2600 games is the artwork is so intense. It's so cool. I got Dig Dug, Video Pinball, Kaboom, Space Invaders! I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. Got a very clean label, Yar's Revenge, and Night Driver. I'll show you guys my NES pickups that I got. So, again, friend of the show Jesse gotten me Bases Loaded 3 because I'm trying to get all the Bases Loaded games. I got Little Nemo's Dream Master. Now I heard this game is very hard and not a lot of people are able to beat it, so I'm totally up for the challenge. I had the Little Nemo VHS of the anime when I was a little kid, and I used to watch it all the time. So it wasn't until I was an adult that I learned that he had a game as well. So the movie came out in Japan in like '88. The game came out I think in '89, and then we got the movie here in the States in like 1990 or 1991. But I'm really excited to play this game. I got Maniac Mansion. So check this out. Maniac Mansion from LucasArts. I am so glad that I saw this. I've never seen it in person. Honestly, like no game stores or conventions I've gone to have had this game for sale, and I finally found it, and as soon as I saw it, I grabbed it. I was like, this is mine for the taking. Thank you very much. I had to. I bought Atari Warriors. I am the kind of gamer that appreciates games for what they are. I know that this game is not like the highest praised game whatsoever, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And then lastly here, it's not a game, but it's the NES cleaning kit. And it was in the box and it's complete, and I said, shoot, for $3, I'll buy that. You know, it's cool. I like having different things. Like, I don't just collect the games, you know, I also collect the peripherals and like the Game Genies and stuff, and I'm really excited that I got this in the box, and I mean, it looks really nice and clean, so right on! So next up, I'm going to show you guys the pickups I got for PS2, original Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube. So I thought I had these games in my collection already, but I picked up Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. I've beaten Metal Gear Solid 2, never played Metal Gear Solid 3, so I'm pretty stoked to get these games for a good price. Got them for like $3 each. Maybe even got them for a little less. Not sure. I also got Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. I've heard nothing but good praises about the Fire Pro Wrestling series, and it looks really cool. I like the art style and whatnot. So, I mean, the case, the artwork alone was just so epic. I was like, I have to have that. Oh, yes. I also picked up War of the Monsters. Let's see. There we go, War of the Monsters. This is a game that I used to have the demo for and would play it all the time. I mean, you're literally just giant monsters fighting in a city and using cars and breaking buildings apart, and everything is a weapon. It's totally rad. Now, for the original Xbox, I picked up Breakdown. This is one of those pivotal first-person shooter type games that really kind of changed the mold a little bit when it came out. But what's neat about this game is it's not just like a shooter. It's really like a first-person fighting game. So I'm excited to play this again and get all of my $3 worth out of it. And lastly here, I got Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. I love the Mario Sports franchise games. They're really fun. They're family friendly. They're almost like party games, even though they're not party games, if that makes sense, because they're just great multiplayer games to have. You have a group of friends come over, you pop in, Mario Baseball All-Stars, or, Mario Soccer. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but you get the point. Now, guys, you might also know, maybe not, I am a big VHS collector. And I saw these Pokemon VHS tapes over at a booth called 8-Bit Kitty, and I've seen them over at the convention every year, and I was like, ooh, yes, maybe I can get these for a good price. Got them for like 50 cents each. So, here we've got Pokemon, The Mystery of Mount Moon, and you might see that this is also in a nice Collector Protector. So that's right, Collector Protector is also making protectors for VHS tapes. I got Seaside Pikachu, and these tapes are great. They all have about 3 episodes a piece in them. Got Pikachu Party, Water Blast, and lastly, Primate Problems. Next up, guys, I got a bunch of Nintendo Power and Prima Strategy guides. So, I got this Nintendo Power that had Killer Instinct on the cover. And what's neat about that one, and this one right here, Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, both of these have the posters in them still, which is really rad because, most of the time you get a Nintendo Power, and kids, when you get them back in the day, first thing you do is you look for the poster in the middle, rip it out, and slap it on your wall. So to have the posters in these still is really neat. Now, like I said, I got a bunch of Prima strategy guides and Brady game strategy guides here. I am on a quest to have a complete PS1. I'm starting with the PS1 to have a complete PS1 Prima strategy guide collection. And eventually I would like to be able to donate that or have it on loan to the Video Game History Foundation. So, first we got Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. We got Tomb Raider, The Last Revelation. That one's a really thick book, too. We got Tekken 3. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Medal of Honor Underground. And this one is pretty neat because it also says exclusive poster inside Toys R Us. So, I think this might be an exclusive. Oh, check this out. Someone left their codes for Alien Resurrection in here. Printed January 13th, 2001. Oh, and there it is. There's the poster. We also got Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. For all of you who hate playing that game under the time crunch that it gives you. We got Prima's Secrets of the Games, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider 3. Adventures of Lara Croft. Tomb Raider 2. Oh, wait a minute. This is a double! What? Check this out, I didn't even realize this. So you got Tomb Raider 1 on one side, and then you flip it around, and it's got Tomb Raider 2, so it's 2 strategy guides in one. Dude, how sick is that? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I didn't even realize that when I got it. What? That's sweet. And then lastly, I got The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And this one has the songs poster in here, which is really neat. Oh man, that's so awesome. I'm so happy I got that. I didn't even realize it, man. Right on. Next, we just got some little odds and ends here, guys. So I got myself some little bit screwdrivers to do repairs on cartridges and consoles. You always need tools. Next up, I got this really neat Mighty Morphin Power Rangers toy. I used to have all of these when I was a little kid. I had the whole squad, and the cool thing about these is you flip his belt down and he transforms. It's morphin' time! He even has his little his weapon here too, which I thought was really neat. And then lastly here, I got some Killer Instinct character cards. So let's go ahead, open these up and see what's inside. So we got Orchid. So it's got her stats back here and her combos and whatnot. We've got TJ Combo. Shows all of his stats, character bio, and moves. Saber Wolf. This one's really cool, actually. We got Cinder. All the moves. And Fulgore with all of his moves. So I realize this doesn't have the entire cast of the game, which makes me want to collect them all. Alright, and the last thing up, guys, I am working with Evo Retro on some Nintendo Switch third-party peripherals. So we've got the nice cool kickstand, got a totally rad Evo Retro Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch, and a really rad, awesome hard case, carrying case for traveling. I'll be doing a review on these products here in the near future, so keep an eye out for the Evo Retro reviews. Wow, thank you guys so much for sticking around this really long video of my pickups. I like to just say thank you to all of the booths, all of the vendors at Game On Expo for slinging the best deals ever. Normally I save up for like 6 months or so and just pour all that money into the conventions that I go to, and I'm very excited and grateful for all of the pickups that I got this year from all the vendors and all of the gifted items as well. So a big shout out to the Immortal John Hancock. Thank you so much for the 5 or 6 Atari 2600 game. Thank you, Jesse, for the SNES games and NES games. Thank you to Evo Retro for the Pro Controller carrying case and stand. I will be doing a review very shortly here on those products. And oh gosh, am I missing? Oh, Mr. Wizard Productions, thank you so much for the Splatterhouse trilogy. And anybody else I'm missing, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't wait to do some game hunting when my wallet recovers a little bit here. And as always, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's keep the community growing here. My channel is your channel, and I'm always down to make the best content I can for you guys. I took the advantage of calling in sick today because my back is killing me. I screwed it up at the gym or something, I don't know. But I needed to get this video out for you guys. So cheers everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay nerdy.